Coach Catfish back. Let me get the right hand and do it in the left hand. That's what all the CLTs get sucked up in. That's why I was always holding stuff with my left hand since I was ambidextrous. I was holding it with left hands because I was a more bright brain person than the left brain person. But, you know, the right brain works the left hand. So maybe I really was wrong about the whole thing. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what these other people talking about, because Coach Catfish has almost nothing to say about anything. Well, I do have a lot to say about things, but I try to just bump the lizard when I have to say something, because I know the lizard's going to bump back, because he is breathing. You see, your money is going somewhere. Yes, the Constitution. I keep hearing the people talking about the Constitution. The Constitution. And since this is here, Coach Catfish is looking over there and he said, stay on strip. So I got to read some stuff here. Constitution. Everybody wants to go to the Constitution. Now, I had just done a video the other day that was talking to you all about the bird, the body, the man, the body. It has two wings. And it flaps at them on this side and flaps it on that side. And I think that something has happened to the Constitution. And I think what it was there needs to be some douching. And here's sort of what come to mind, Coach Catfish. Because since I'd already talked about the concept of alliances and people getting together and talking and deciding we're going to do this here and that there, regardless of what anyone else thinks, I figured that maybe this is where we had to start. Because that's what everybody's talking about, but nobody doing nothing about it. So maybe Coach Catfish, with my Bayou perspective, because I spend time with the getters and the snakes, and sometimes I even go out noodling and canoodling. But, praise y'all, I still got a place to be a row. But the Constitution is where we got to go. Now, why would I bring this up? Well, I bring this here up because, you know, Coach Catfish has talked to you, my hand. I don't know if I can actually hold it that long because the hand thing. I mean, I'll just do it like this. Maybe that will be better. The Constitution thing. And the concept of the Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. Well, if you got the Uncle Sam and we birthed the nation, I assume that meant there had to be an Aunt Sam Antha of some type somewhere. There had to be the aunt somewhere. I don't know her name exactly, unless it was, well, it would not be Walla Walla, Washington. That would just be the after effect, I guess. But the marriage has its drawbacks. So, what we had is the Aunt Sammy. We just call it Aunt Sammy. To save things, we get 3. Okay, the Aunt Sammy. And what Coach Catfish has figured is since we had Uncle Sam and Aunt Sammy, and they've been trying to take care and birth the nation and take care of these, whatever it is that we is here. Because, you know, people be acting and nuts and stuff, and since they actually have something to do with this whole process, Uncle Sam and Aunt Sammy are not alone. It looks like something trying to bite me. Maybe it is. The CLT waves. No. Maybe what it is Uncle Sam and Aunt Sammy was really looking for some input from the things that they birthed. The nation, the constitutional. I don't like using these terms, I don't like talking about politics, but it seems it's necessary for Coach Catfish to step in here and say something about bumping the lizard into Walla Walla, Washington, and Aunt Sammy and Uncle Sam. And what happens? What has happened? Everybody talking about Constitution, Constitution, Constitution. Now, what Coach Catfish was trying to understand about the whole thing, and since I do believe every man is a nation unto himself, because that's what the Abraham was. He was a nation unto himself, and he birthed many, many nations along with his other half. So to birth nations and to have many, many children and states, I guess you could call them, what must we do? Well, we must have ants somewhere. Well, sometime when things goes the way they do, you'll have to do a little cleaning out of some of the channels of things where people talks and do what they do. And when Coach Catfish had understood a while back, and I had sort of written this down, but just sort of dejected it because, you know, who can say what you say? Because I think the alliance thing of men amongst men is where the whole problem goes wrong. I think you're supposed to make the alliance with the Yah in between your own heart and your own soul and do what is right. instead of needing to be ruled over by fools. So what do we have? The next best thing is the Constitution. And when the Constitution done went ahead in itself, and I think what has happened is that the Constitution is clouded up or something like that somewhere. So we must have a, well, when Coach Catfish was a little boy, I grew up around all the women. I didn't have the daddy, even though I had 3.5 of them and 5 mamas. I grew up around the aunt. She was a great aunt. Hey, Pussycat, come on in here. Come on in and hang out with your daddy. And, I was a little boy. I was 5.5 when she got me, and she was up in her almost 8 years old. And she let me go through the drawers, and not them drawers, the drawers and the old trailer and stuff we lived in. And there's stuff from back in that, we had Watkins salve from 1936. And there was this thing, it was a big old bulb-looking thing. I didn't understand what it was. And she said, that's a douche. That's a douche. And, of course, Kathy's was a little boy and growing around a bunch of girls. And by the time I was about 10 years old, I finally understood what that bag was about. So what I was figuring is maybe it's just necessary at some point that we do a Constitution. A Constitution. Get something to flush that sucker out. Bring it out to the light of day. Maybe it has been caught for too long, and I don't know what Grandma can do about it, but maybe we just need some Constitution. Just douche that sucker out. Bring it out. Flush it, and hush it. Well, unhush it, actually. That's the whole point of bringing it out of the canal. I'm not an owl. I do not report to that Molech god. Anyway, Coach Catfish just had to say, Walla Walla, Washington. We know how you get there. We know what that kind of stuff was, and it is we just need, if you ain't gonna listen to God, and apparently that is the deal. The man is not gonna do what's right. When my doctor, he say, most people like you, composted. I was shocked, but really I wasn't, because I sort of understood this here all along. Because when you can't make some kind of peace with your maker, what do? You become God yourself. Coach Catfish been talking about this a long time. From the monkey to the man, and when the man gets out of hand, well, the people with power look in the mirror and say, I'm God. I'm going to have me some people snacks. And that's where we go. Let's get the Constitution, What Coach Catfish understands, the way I look at it, cause I don't need a bunch of man laws to tell me how to be a kind person and have a heart of flesh and do what's right. I'm a sinning man. I'm a man, I'm flesh. I'm a man. But in the heart, the way you deal with others, that was the Yahusha saying. And if you can't make some kind of peace with your God or your Jesus or your whoever the hell you bow yourself down to and serve, then what do? You make alliances. If you want to make the alliance, let's do it, because it worked when it was used, and if it was used. Praise the God. Maybe. Either we're going to come out of Egypt, go back out to the wilderness. Well, actually, that's where we is at right now. Or maybe people somehow will just get a heart of flesh. And that's what Coach Catfish prays for. The heart of flesh for the man. The heart of flesh for the man. We're not monkeys. We're out of hand. Got to have the heart of flesh for the man. Love your neighbor. Get out and scratch up the ground. Quit being fake. Quit looking for somebody else to do something for you. And if we have a CME or some stuff, I tell you what, you'll think this thing here, look like it's going to bite me, is bad. Which one your neighbor wants to eat you? Anyway, Coach Catfish out of here. I done told you people this here before. I've had enough of this here. I got to get out. I've spent almost 9. We need to get up to 33 at least, so we can at least make it look good. Or maybe 63 or 36 or 27 or some other number divisible by some rational thinking. Coach Catfish out of here. I love you people. Praise God. Every day. Even if you don't believe in Him, I pray for you people. Hallelujah.